The Time Lords. There would not be Time Lords were it not for me. Who was it who used a remote stellar manipulator to detonate a supernova to create a power source that gave them mastery over time? And who was it that was left trapped in a black hole of antimatter, abandoned and forgotten by his own brothers? Hello. For those of you who don't know me and are seeing me for the very first time, which on this channel, I guess is everyone, hi, I'm the Who Wanderer. I've been the person making the videos the past couple of months, or not, in this case. Now, I don't have time to do a full review of WishWorld. I have a lot of things going on at the moment, and this face reveal is kind of part of that. So, I'm going to talk about WishWorld very briefly, and then I'm going to transfer into talking about a really cool opportunity that is happening that I'm going to take you guys along for the ride for. WishWorld was really good. I've just finished watching it maybe, 10 minutes ago? It's still on my screen, which is over there. I really liked it. I really enjoyed maybe the best episode of this little era of Doctor Who we've been in so far. I'm really excited actually to go back and view all of these episodes as one continuous season. As you know, if you have watched any of my previous videos, I've been very much advocating that this season should be watched alongside season 1 and treated as one big series, as in classic Doctor Who, or classic New Who, I suppose. But yeah, WishWorld was really good. The opening had me hugely unsettled with Belinda and the Doctor. Verda and Shuti's deliberately bad acting really set the stage for the kind of world that WishWorld is in. And it also, maybe this is me talking as a queer disabled person, of which I am. The episode made me deeply uncomfortable, but in the best possible way. I think Russell really nailed the voice he was looking for this episode, and the correct world being incredibly homophobic, it being over-policed, it being censored, it being conformist, it being misogynistic, but also completely ignoring disabled people. It made a lot of messages, and it did it very succinctly, which is something that Russell has struggled with this era of Who. The characters who returned, they were amazing. I was really worried with how they were going to portray the Rani. When Doctor Who brought the Master back in 2007, it was amazing, great reveal, and obviously, you know, to some extent they're trying to recapture that here, but when I went and rewatched old episodes that had the Master in it, you know, things like The Mark of the Rani, I was like, oh, the Master's a lot more sophisticated. He's a lunatic, but he's much more sophisticated than the modern interpretation of him. And I think a lot of that is because of the way in which Russell brought him back. And I was very worried that we were going to get a similar treatment with the Rani. But, thankfully, we didn't. Honestly, I really enjoyed the way they portrayed the Rani. The Rani and the Doctor are enemies, but yes, they used to be friends. And to some extent, I can believe their friendship far more than I can believe the Doctors and the Masters. They were contemporaries. They studied in school together. They grew up together. There's a short story set on Gallifrey just after the first Doctor leaves Gallifrey. And the Rani and the Master are genuinely worried about him. They're trying to figure out where he went. It's not told from their perspective. They're just bit characters in it called, I believe, the Man and the Woman. But it's very much like, it's clearly them. And this Rani felt true to that. I'm not going to talk about the end plot twist, but obviously, if you've seen it, and you've been paying attention, you might know I quite like it. Has the season been predictable so far? A little bit. Little bit predictable so far. But I'm okay with that. It's been predictable, but it's hit all of my beats, so I'm quite happy. Now, the really exciting thing. I have been invited to the premiere of the final episode. My local premiere. So, Cineworld, I got in contact with Cineworld and we've had a back and forth, and Cineworld want me to come along and do some promotional stuff with them, watch the final episode, and I'm really excited. I'm going to take you guys along with me, so that'll be a video that's coming out probably next week or in the lead up to it, and as a result you won't obviously get my thoughts. That's why I kind of tapered down the reviews, but the reviews for the rest of the season I think are going to come a bit later because I've actually really enjoyed doing this. When this season of Doctor Who came around, I was like, no, I'm going to take Who Wanderer more seriously. I'm not just going to have it be one video on the Shulker Doctor and my preferred Series 1 running order. That was the other thing. I really liked the way Ruby was used in WishWorld. And if you enjoyed WishWorld and you want to see more of the Doctor in human circumstances, there's Human Nature, both the book adaptation, or the book version, which is the original version, but also the Series 3 adaptation with David Tennant. And there's also, I believe, a comic strip that was released at one point called John Smith and the Common Man, taken from the band that Susan was listening to in the first episode, who also made an appearance. And Rogue was in this episode! Lots of stuff happened. But yeah, John Smith and the Common Man, very good comic, has the 11th Doctor in a very similar scenario to the 15th found himself, but it was very good. Like I said, next week I'll be going to Cineworld and doing some content with them. You'll get to see me in my 8th Doctor cosplay, which I have on my other accounts. But I'll be posting about that, I'll be promoting that, and I hope you guys enjoy it. And I will leave you with a final message from, where is he? And so, I have used the area between dimensions, known as the Arc of Infinity, to bond with the Doctor, and soon I will transfer to a new body and return to rule over the Time Lords as a god.